This is Jake, IT intern. This is me, waiting for the train. I worked on at 18th and Market in Philadelphia this summer, and I had to take Paco in from my home in New Jersey every single day. So this is me taking some selfies. I work for ERT, which stands for E-Research Technology. It's basically a company that collects data for clinical trials, and then people there's many different departments, specifically the cardiac specialists, they examine the EKG charts from the machines that they sent, they mail to people, and then they package this information on certain medicines and send them to clinical trials, so that eventually they can be put on the line, so that eventually the medicine will help people. And our boss told us about all the different ways ERT has helped save lives through their work. So you're probably asking what does this have to do with what I do, or anything like computer science or IT or anything? No, it really doesn't. I was doing desk side support via ticketing system. For those that don't know, a ticketing system is that whenever someone in the company is having a problem, they submit a ticket, and all the tickets are collected in a database. And usually our manager will assign tickets to us, or if things are getting slow, we'll just pick one up ourselves. Also, all the interns were assigned their own individual project to lead and work on. So I was leading in a website project. That website project, usually I wanted to hard code it, but my manager was enamored with Google Sites, so I had to use Google Sites, which is nice because it's more organized, and it's easier to incorporate calendars and tables and such. But I would have rather have done it hard coding. But and also I did some professional shadowing. I was working with professionals in IT that have been in the field for 10+ years. So when I wasn't working on a specific ticket or a thing that I was assigned to, I can go follow the professional I was assigned with Mike, and learn about the new task. So a lot of the tickets that I was handling were termination and new hire tickets, which is essentially busy work that you make the interns do, because there was over 200 of them sitting in our ticketing system, because the professionals didn't have time for that. It's kind of busy work. It's a lot of removing access rights, deactivating the badge access. We have these cards that get us into floors, and our floor on the building. It's a giant building, and then a lot of it is just waiting on managers to you email a manager, ask them if they want if they need any files for the person that got terminated or anything, and it's just a lot of waiting and waiting and waiting, and you end up waiting almost 2 weeks for the manager to get back to you, and then they'll just be oh, I didn't need anything, and then you're wow, thanks. Okay, so next you're asking, what did Jake learn in this internship? I learned a lot about the website development process. I had to gather requirements from all the different managers in IT, and that's kind of hard at times because I got a lot of conflicting results. So eventually I had to get them all in the same Google chat meeting and have them argue it out and all, and so that was very difficult getting them to agree on one design. And I was dealing with a difficult boss. He was kind of older, ended his career, and he had a lot of issues with his wife. He wanted to move back to Reno, and and so he had all these issues, and he wasn't he was really trained in management, and wasn't really an IT professional for super long. So oftentimes he wouldn't really know what he was talking about, and so the IT professionals would be oh, don't listen to him, about so-and-so, like he doesn't know what he's talking about, so that's interesting. But of course, like, I was like, you know, a good intern and did what he said, and I didn't try to argue with him or anything. I just, you know, sometimes you just gotta do what they tell you to do, you know. It's been in my general knowledge of, you know, IT and, like, you know, desk side support in general, I'd say. I work at tech support for the last, like, 2 years, and this was interesting because it allowed me to, like, deal with more, like, the admin side. Like, we worked with Active Directory and, like, with, like, access rights and, like, building access and those kind of things. And we weren't like allowed to do any of those things at, like, Ursinus tech support. So these are reflections. It was a great learning environment. The guy that was shadowing Mike, he was a very good like mentor. We would, like, sometimes we would just, like, on downtime we would, like, talk about other things. Like, he is, like, very good with, like, iOS and like Bash and, like, general, like, you know, command prompt kind of stuff. And so on the side, he would, like, teach me some of that, and he was just a general source where I can ask, like, anything I wanted, you know, computer based, and he would usually have an answer for it. And what's great about being an internship, like an IT intern, is that you have room to mess up. If you, like, you don't have to be perfect. If you, like, mess up a certain issue or on a certain ticket, it's okay, because, you know, you're just an intern and you're just learning. And it was interesting to have experience in a corporate environment. It's very different from working with students, because there's, like, a whole different level of professionality. You can't, like, talk to people in the corporate world the same way you talk to students that come to fix your computer, and they just want you. They want you in and out. You know, they don't want small talk. They just want you to fix the problem, because time is money. So the bad, I'd say, was a lot of it was busy work. Sometimes like the termination and new hire tickets that we were assigned, that was a lot. And sometimes that, like, the overall, like, organization of the internship was a little unorganized at times. Like, we would have like, sometimes I would end up trying to, like, desperately trying to pick up tickets, so at least I have something to do. And I feel like my manager could have been more on top of that. And yeah, Google Sites, not really a fan. It's like, yeah, you don't really have much room for, like, creativity. You can include, like, HTML, but, like, CSS, like, it's like a whole nother thing. And JavaScript, forget about it. And then here's the questionable.